is for entertainment purposes only. Although I am a licensed clinician, I'm also just a person. I love to be able to be in my real life and speak from that point. And that's where this podcast is coming from. So enjoy.
Searching for truth, looking for answers. There must be a way to another day.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Convenient Truth.
Hi.
This is our 82nd episode. Man, we're going to hit 100. And then we're going to be discovered. I don't know, but
I think it's just time. It's just time for people to see.
true time.
Now we are also today, I hope this is all set up right. We are also on Rumble.
Rumble.
Yep. So YouTube, Rumble, X, Instagram, Facebook, and probably another one. But so the more places we go, the more places we can be seen.
One day.
Mm-hmm.
One day Joe Rogan's going to hit us up.
He's going to be like, good job, guys. There's nothing I can do for you.
He's going to want us on his podcast to talk about amazing stuff.
Well, yes,
and we're going to say, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And then that'll be the day.
That'll be the day. That'll definitely be the day.
Low key, really hoping that's like a great fantasy of mine. So anyway, I had an amazing day today with some amazing women at a great Hanukkah children's party, a little, party for kids to learn about Hanukkah at one of my daughter's friends' houses. It was so great.
That's nice because I feel like you don't see a lot of that.
No!
Outside of the Jewish community, obviously that's normal, but like to invite people from all religions and just to experience it, I think it's really good, especially for kids.
It was so amazing. And Mom sat on the floor and read the kids a book about Hanukkah, and they had this huge blow-up menorah, and then they went through all the candles and talked about the shamas, which I believe is the middle candle, the big one, and that's the one that you use to light up all the candles. I mean, honestly, I learned stuff. I was sitting on the ground next to my daughter, like, like so into it. Then we played the dreidel game, and then I learned about how to play that game because I really didn't know what each symbol or each thing meant. It was actually pretty dope.
Because they're on like what, the fourth day or third day or something? Hanukkah started on Thursday.
Hanukkah started on Christmas, Wednesday.
It's
the first time that it's the first time that think this ever.
Well, it's the day after. I mean, at least on my calendar. So
yeah, but this time it started on Christmas.
Interesting.
Because I have patients who told me that who are Jewish. So yeah, I mean, I'm all about Hanukkah. I thought it was too cool. We had some latkes or latkes. I forgot which one it is, but they were amazing. It's like these fried like potato pancake things, but they're so yummy and Soul loved them. And then it got me thinking that if Soul loves these, which to be honest, I didn't think she was going to like because it's a very, I don't know if it's like an oniony or I don't know, some kind of taste. I like them, but I didn't think she would like. And she was like, and love them. And then it got me thinking, oh my God, what if this whole time our kid is actually like her palate is actually more of a cultured palate and she needs to experience food from like different cultures and maybe that's her jam and we just don't know because we've just been like, oh, she's only going to eat this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then I was thinking, what if like once a month we brought in food from a different culture to have her and all of us try it, and then we can learn about that culture also at the table, talk about it.
I'm not against it.
I actually
something that
you're
gonna do.
I want to do it. I really do, and I think it'll be really cool.
Okay.
And then we'll like talk to her about it, and then we'll go through all the different cultures out there, and then we'll kind of pick one each month. Like, okay, this month we're gonna just tap into Indian culture, right? Like,
I mean, we're gonna run out soon, but yes,
That's fine, you know. But then
we could cycle back around.
but we can cycle back around because we're not going to get all the food, right, from each
Right,
culture.
right, right.
So, you know, maybe like for Indian culture, we'll just have like, I don't know, like some like one Indian dish that night, right?
Mhm.
But then 6 months later, if we come in again, it'll be another Indian dish.
Yeah, I'd be down for that. Now, did she have like one bite
She
in
ate the whole
sight?
thing.
Oh, she had multiples, and
She
she
ate
says
the
she liked.
multiples.
Oh, okay. Because sometimes she'll
And
be
then
like,
she
"Yeah, I
came,
like it,"
no,
and then
then
2
she
seconds later,
came
like,
back and said, Mama, do you have more of that potato stuff? And I was like, yes, sweetie, it's right here.
"Well, she loves potato shit." I mean,
Yeah, but oh God, I don't know if it's latke or latke. Someone needs to send a message who's on here watching it. Latke or latke. Anyway, but the taste of them, it's such a distinct taste because the spices are it's like, it's in
mm,
there. And I was like, she's not going to like them, but she loved it.
okay, good.
This Hanukkah party was a success. I loved it.
No, that's cool. I think. Yeah, I think it'd be cool if one of our other friends, like a Muslim kid or something like that. You know, they had the same thing. That'd be cool.
I would love it. I'd be there. So it's interesting because I don't think that Rhode Island is the most diverse state.
Yeah,
But
I mean, different areas. You know?
right, but there are like different areas of Rhode Island that are pretty diverse. But I got to tell you, I feel like I love being here because I'm meeting all these different people from all these different cultures out
Mm.
here. And I'm learning so much and having great conversation and just like really connecting with people more out here than I did in Florida. That's for sure. Like in terms of like a deep.
Yeah, because in Florida they say like people aren't like nobody's really from there. Like everybody's from somewhere else. They come
Everyone,
from
right,
north or
except for Joanne, except for my homegirl. She's actually from no, she's not. She's from Wisconsin. Wah,
right,
wah,
right.
yeah.
So and then I mean people might be born there, but their parents probably weren't born there. You
No,
know, so
no,
like
she's
nobody's
from
there's not the culture isn't really except for you go down south, but it's not really Florida culture. That's like in Miami, it's like a Latin culture. You know.
Do you know what I think it is too, though, in Florida? And this is not to say about all my friends in Florida because I do like Joanne, like that's my homegirl. Like we can get deep, her and I, but like I think that the culture in South Florida is just traditionally or stereotypically just a very superficial kind of thing out there,
Mm,
like it's really a lot of it's like how you look, how you dress, blah blah, where are you going, where's the party at, what are we doing, blah blah blah, brunch, like
mhm.
and keeping up with the Joneses so much that I
Yeah.
think people get sidetracked from like substance
Yeah. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they focus so much on surface, and you really have to search to find those people out there who are substance
Mm.
and keep your fingers crossed that you do find them. But out here, we don't have to worry about that because there's no superficial shit going on out here.
Well, you also got to think about like, you've gone through like a lot of spiritual changes in the past year too. And, both of us have gone through all kinds of changes since we lived in Miami. And you attract what you are. So maybe at this point we're just now attracting what we were wanting in our head at the time, maybe down there, or what we started to think about at the time, but now it's developed to the point we are living that life. So now all those people are just flowing into our life because we're vibrating at that.
At that capacity.
Yeah.
I think that that's definitely a part of it because that goes into the laws of attraction. So that makes sense to me, right? Like again, there's still a reason why every single person who I make as a friend has control issues and anxiety. Literally.
Well, that means you still got it then.
Laws of attraction. I mean, really, I could not meet even today. All the girls I was with, all of them. We get it. We get control. Like it's like heavily in me that it just oozes that's what I get back. I'm fine with it because like I like being around people who like also get it and understand it and who are working on it.
What about me? Do I
Or do you have control issues?
no, the
Oh.
people that my friends, do they have control issues too?
Let's see. Let's go through them in my mind. One of them.
I mean,
Another one.
like to the,
Yeah.
but not like
Um,
to the same level as me, right? I don't think.
No, I think out of all of them, in my mind, you're probably the most like. But
So what
I
does that
don't know
mean?
though, because we're not in their lives all the time. We're not like
Yeah,
at home with them.
yeah. But you could tell right off the rip with these people that you're meeting.
No, I can't. This is like we'll have
That's because it's
conversations.
deep conversation.
It's deep conversations, and
Mm.
somebody will say something, and I'm like, oh my god, I have so many control issues, and then everyone's like, oh my god, so do I. And we're like, yay, control issues.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I've been working on it. Obviously, I still have a long way to go, but a lot of it is probably coming from I think you said it before, my lack of control with like career stuff or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's things that I just don't have control of sometimes, and then I bring it home sometimes
Yeah.
where I know that I have control of certain situations here.
Yeah, you ramp it up.
Yeah. So I'm still working on that, but I think for the most part, like across the board, I've just relinquished control a lot where I'm just like, it is what it is. Life is okay. And then I bring myself to the present and just be like, everything is fine today, and there's always going to be problems. And there's going to be problems that I'm not going to be able to handle or control, or they'll be out of my hands. And I just have to deal with it and figure out or be patient or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then I try to go about my day. I usually go try and do something for myself, like meditate or work out. Or
During the day, you don't meditate during the day anymore that much.
sometimes. Now I do different things. Jay taught me, like basically, I'll do it like while I'm driving.
Meditate?
It's not a meditation. It's like just a breathing
Mm.
and being present. So I do
Yeah.
that multiple times throughout the day now. Like sometimes you'll just hear me go. That's like grounding myself in the moment. Yeah. A lot of secret things you don't even know that are going on with me.
Okay.
I mean, this morning you were like, you don't do anything. I'm like, I've been doing a lot of stuff. It's like,
First of all, you caught me on a, that was not my best moment.
Speaking of, do you want to get into that stuff?
Fine.
You don't really want to. I know you don't want to, but I think this is a great opportunity.
This would be a great episode for parents.
Yes. Yeah, because like, really, like I honestly, it would be cool if we could like come up with some sort of like plan after this podcast or during this podcast, and then give people updates as we go about the plan. I don't know what the plan is now. I'm just like,
what do you want to talk about?
Verbal talking. So all of a sudden, in like the past month or 2 months, it's increased.
What's increased?
Where Soul, our daughter, comes into our bedroom every morning, is like, Mama, can I have the phone? Like that's the first thing she asks
or
for
no,
at
she'll
7
say,
a.m.
or she'll say, do I have school today? Because
Right.
the rule is she only, just to be clear, because I do have to say this, our daughter only gets the phone Wednesday morning, Saturday morning, and Sunday morning, the days that she doesn't have school. And I did that because in the morning when I'm getting ready and when we're all getting ready, she's like always like, nah, nah, nah. So I'm just like, you know what? Like while I'm getting ready, just chill, go onto YouTube, watch some like building science learning thing. But then because she's 5, she knows how to like go and look at the other stupid videos of all the little kids that are like, let's act like babies, right? Which is annoying. So anyway, but she only gets the phone 3 days a week. Minus that, if we go to a restaurant, I will say she does get the phone at a restaurant.
Yeah, and then in those 3 days, it's only like an hour max per day, probably. Maybe depending if you guys.
Depending, I mean, like, it could be 30 minutes.
Yeah,
No,
like I don't know. I'm saying okay.
I'm just saying. I just feel like they in that land need
they need to understand that, right? So there's that, but like she
doesn't watch TV. Also want to be clear about that
Right. We don't
too.
watch movies
She
or
has
TV
no
or anything like
idea
that.
who Bluey is, except because her friends have told her about Bluey. She's never watched a Bluey episode, doesn't know shit about Bluey and his
Why are you
family or
specifically
anything.
picking up
I'm
Bluey?
just saying Bluey because apparently a lot of kids love Bluey.
Well, she
Okay?
doesn't know shit about anything.
No clue.
But my problem is like the incentive, right? Because this device, the phone, the TV, anything with a screen has a flicker rate, which actually puts you in a trance-like state. It's like multiple screens just going like this. Like you don't notice it, your eye doesn't perceive it, but it's your screen is flickering. It's just like the horse thing with the paper, and you flick it and the horse is running. That's what the TV is doing all the time, or the phone, right? And you're actually getting put into a trance-like state, which makes you more impressionable to whatever is being presented to you on that device, right?
Mhm.
So there's that part of it, right? That is a fact. You guys can go look that up. This isn't like some conspiracy thing or anything like that.
No,
That is
I actually
actual
believe that
real,
that's yes.
right?
That's
And if you'll notice it when your kid is on the phone and you're like, hey,
hello.
you know, you literally they see right through your hand,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, they don't know you're there.
So and then afterwards there's like a detox when you take the phone away from them and they're like crabby or tired or whatever, right? So we go through that too. So there's that part of it, but then there's also the incentive part of it of like, okay, you don't have school today, so now you get this thing. I
I also want to be clear, she still loves going to school.
Today, yes, but as we go on, I mean, we all know, you know, and especially with like public school or whatever, we all know that over time, you know, kids aren't really excited to go to school for the most part. Um, and that's not like across the board. It is just obviously there's different schools and there are different types of kids that actually really enjoy they, you know, but for the most part, we all know, like, you know, you're in like
I was
6th, 7th,
excited
8th
to go to
grade.
school, but that's just for the socializing. Because I'd rather be at school and hang out with my friends.
Right. It
than-
was more for the social aspect and actually like going there and learning things. But there
Yeah.
is, you experienced this too when you went to college, and so did I. When I chose what school I wanted to go to and I paid for it myself and I knew exactly what I wanted to do for sound engineering, I got straight A's, perfect attendance, there all the time because I wanted to learn, right? And that's what really got me into wanting to better myself and learning about myself and reading all these like self-help books and stuff like that, is because I found that there is an aspect of me that enjoys learning, and it's about learning about things that I enjoy and that are helping me in life the way that the direction that I want to go in.
So
right?
basically, what
So-
you're saying is that you feel that with this incentive of you get the phone in the mornings only on the days that you don't have school, that eventually she's going to only care about the phone, getting the phone, and not care about actually going to school and doing other things.
Not only that might be one aspect of it. I'm just saying we can easily just say, so you get the phone on Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. You don't have to mention school. You don't even have to say it. They shouldn't fucking know the difference, right? So, and also, she doesn't get it as soon as she wakes up. I don't like that either, right? She should come in. And there was a time that because I was doing it every single day, was saying good morning as soon as she walked in, and she'd give me a hug and a kiss, and then I'd be like, oh, what did you dream about or whatever, and then it was like funny, and then she'd go play with the dog, or she'd go into her playroom and go draw or something.
Mhm.
That was like not that long ago, like literally like 3-4 months ago, right? So that's what I want, and I think that that's what you want, and I think that's probably the best scenario for her moving forward as well. I think that there's times that you utilize the phone out of convenience.
Again, I only give her the phone Wednesday morning Saturday morning and Sunday morning.
But it was all
If it was if it was out of convenience, I would be giving her the phone
well,
way more than
you
that.
just said it a few minutes ago. It all got initiated out of convenience because you said you're trying to get ready on the days she doesn't go to
Right.
school, and she's
Fucking
like,
3
no, no,
days.
no, no,
I
no.
hear you. I do hear what you're saying. It's not like I don't, but I'm just like saying, I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, that's 3 days a week, bro. Like, that's literally 3 days a week. Like, if I was really using it for convenience, I would use it every day. Like, I mean,
But
honestly.
the only reason she even gets it when you go out to eat with her is out of convenience too, because I go out to eat with her whenever I do go out to eat with her. It's me and her. She doesn't even ask me, and we sit there and we color the thing that you see every time on the thing. We hang out, we talk, and but now she's starting to be like, Dada, can like she'll ask me even though she knows I'm gonna say no
But it's
about
actually
the phone.
not convenient for me. I can't stand when she takes my phone when it's just her and I out.
So then don't give it to her.
It's not convenient for me at all. Now I'm just sitting there with no fucking phone, just looking around because
Right.
now I'm by myself, like in this
Right.
restaurant. So no, it's not convenient for
So
me in any way, shape, or form.
what I'm saying is we have the power, and not even the power. It's just like, how do we want her to perceive these devices and things in the future? Do we want her to be sitting around on the couch and just like they being like, oh, it's my day off, so I guess I'm gonna watch TV or look at my phone? No, we don't, right? So let's
But
not
we don't
inject
do
that
that.
now.
We don't do that. She never even sees us do that. I think that modeling behavior is a really big
All right, which one is more
aspect of this.
all right, which one is more impressionable? I don't know.
Behavior.
This is a
modeling
very
behavior.
powerful device.
It is a powerful device. But if she sees two people, two parents
Mm.
who are up, at 'em, working, going to work, doing this, let's go here, activities, gym, going jogging, blah, 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 the whole nine, then she sees that.
Hold on, how many parents are doing that type of stuff every single day?
I'm
and
not
their
talking
kids,
about other parents.
well,
I'm
I'm just
talking
saying,
about
you're using that as like an example, right?
Mhm,
So like, how many other parents do you
mhm.
see that are working every day, that are doing things, that are on the go, and their kids are still on their devices all day long?
Right, but we could also say that we don't know how often they're actually giving their kids those devices. We only give Soul the device Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday, and at a restaurant.
Right.
Other families could be giving
the
and injecting it like
once
way more than that.
again, the amount of time is fine, is actually perfect for me. I don't think it is a lot. So I think this is where we've been disagreeing, right? You think that I'm like complaining about how much she's getting it, and it's not that. It's about the way that she's getting it and the timing of it, right? So
So I'm fine with being like, "Hey, girl, you only get the phone Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's it.
yeah,
Done." I'm fine with that,
and
and I'm fine with
it's
saying,
not
"Hey, and you're not going
in
to
the
get it when
morning.
you first wake up in the morning. You need to like chill, go play, go do something."
Like literally like after breakfast, I'm saying. Because there's no need for her to have it like that early, I don't think.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess in my mind, I'm like, but after breakfast, now we're like on to the day. And now it's like I'm getting up and we're doing stuff.
I mean, that's even better. Then she won't even want it then.
Yeah, but then she's still gonna ask for it, and then she's gonna be like, "What about later when I get home?" And
Well, now now think about how long it's taken us to get to this point. It's going to take at least that time of consistency to get out of that, right? Like you've done this. You have created this.
Right, but if I tell her that she's allowed to have the phone Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday
Mhm.
after breakfast, but let's say after breakfast, I'm like, "No, man, like I want to go. There's an activity.
Okay,
We're
so
doing
go do the
something."
things, and then
I
when
understand
at
that.
some point throughout the day, she can have it.
Okay.
Like, it doesn't have to be a specific time, but when I would prefer not to do it in the morning time anymore if we don't have to. Like she used to, that used to be her time where she still does it randomly sometimes now, but that used to be her time every single morning. Remember, she used to just she wouldn't even come into our bedroom. She would just go straight into her playroom and do whatever she's doing with her
I
babies
think
or
she
being
does
creative and
that
stuff.
to also just throw another contributing factor out. I do think actually when the weather is better, when it's actually not so cold in that room, she does go in there often. But if you notice, she has not got into that room often at all because that room is freezing cold in the winter.
Right. Well,
which that makes sense to me.
now we've just restructured it. By the way, we did this whole
Not with the
like
heat. Not with
Montessori.
the heat, though. I'm just saying it's freezing in there.
Oh, so
Like
you could turn.
nobody wants to be in that room.
You know what I can do? I can set up a heater on a timer that goes on before she wakes up, so that room's heated. Boom. See, solving problems all day long.
And I don't know. I mean, I get what you're saying, but there's also something about the structure that I quite like. Like, I like her knowing that, like, okay, this is when you get it, and these are the only times that you get it.
Why? That maybe is that your thing or is it her thing?
I don't know. I just feel like kids love structure,
Okay.
and they crave it and need it.
Well, we can create different structure. This is another thing, right? I think like once again, the timing. I mean, the amount of time on the phone has been fine, and once again, I would much rather you just randomly give it to her at a random time during the day on those days when it is maybe convenient for you to give it to her.
But then she's gonna fucking ask me 10,000 times that day. When am I getting the phone? When am I getting the phone?
Yes, that is
When am I getting the phone?
that you're
When am I
right.
getting the
That's
phone?
exactly
when am I getting
how
the
it's
phone?
going to be
when
for
am I
the
getting the
next couple months because
Wait a
that's
minute.
how long
You
it took to
think-
get to
see,
this point.
I think this is what amazes me about you is that honestly, I feel like between the both of us, I know Soul so much better than you. Because if you think that that kid is only going to do that for a few months, you're out of your fucking mind. That is the most stubborn fucking. That chick will go down like she will die. Okay,
So
before
what-
she stops doing it,
I don't
she
know.
will hurt herself and everybody else tremendously.
Okay.
she'll keep
All
going.
right. So what is the importance to you about having structure around the phone?
I just feel that when it comes to structure, that is an important thing. So if I'm going to tell you that I'm going to give you the phone on this day, I'm also going to say, hey, you get the phone this day at this time only, and that is it. So then she now knows that day and the weeks
Is this
to
out of
come
convenience for you because
exactly
so
what
you don't have
she's
to
going
hear it?
to. But yeah, but there's nothing wrong with that. That's like a completely fucking like. This is when you get it.
So the structure is only you're only wanting the structure so you don't have to hear anything, right?
Joe,
So,
yes. Who
but-
wants to hear?
But we could all just say
Also, Soul
What-
thrives in structure.
we could also say, you know, we're just gonna give you the phone whenever it makes sense.
Until you give me an actual in-depth scientific understanding about why your theory and what you want to do actually is beneficial and makes more sense, I'm not doing it that way.
Why it's beneficial and makes more sense.
Mhm.
Well, all right, let's just talk about this then. What do you see? How do you see her living her life as like 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, like with like her schools and her activities and how do you see that? Now here's the other thing, right? The difference between like you might think of like how you were raised and how you turned out and what you did at that time.
I had
You
no
h-
structure. Just
Well,
saying.
you have to erase that because
I know that, but
it's
I had-
completely different.
I had no structure.
Whether it's structure or not structure, forget about that. I'm talking about the age at which you started watching cartoons and stuff, right? It may have been her age. I mean, I don't really remember that young. I think like cable really kind of started coming out maybe when we were like what, like
I don't know. I was always watching TV. My family and
Right.
I bonded over TV.
right. But also the thing is, back then there was only so many options. You were watching fucking Sesame Street or Mr. Rogers. That's basically it, right? And then as you get older, maybe like G.I. Joe or My Little Pony or one of these like cartoons and stuff. And for the most part, if you go back and watch those, they all had some sort of
Fraggle Rock.
right. But at the end, it was
Snorks.
always some sort of like lesson to be learned or something. That was kind of like
Reading Rainbow.
okay, yeah. I mean, as you get older, I mean that's when we had like cable and it was like all these other channels and stuff. So for her, she's got a zillion options, and this has been going on since she was like at least like last year or the year before that, right? We kind of really limited her up until like maybe 3, which is great, I think. And I am also understanding that not like we can't shelter her from all this shit. I get it. But what I'm trying to do at this point, and I've told you a million times, for like the next like at least like 2 years up until she's like 6 or 7, like really set the foundation for how we would like her brain to function moving forward. I mean, obviously after like 7, 8, 9, 10, it's like she's going to like whatever her friends are doing or watching or whatever, she's going to want to be into it, and we can have the conversations. We can tell her why that's maybe we don't want to watch in that, or why this. And as she gets older, she'll understand more and more. I totally understand. I get all that stuff, and it is what it is. And that's just fucking culture. Hopefully it shifts a little bit, and then in her as she gets older, right? But my whole point is I'm trying to set a foundation, and if my idea of what I want to do, I kind of like laid it out for you, but like set the foundation, then I'm hoping as she gets older that it won't be a thing that's like embedded, like I wake up on Wednesday
I get
and
that. I
watch
agree.
TV.
I don't like that. So I'm agreeing with you on that aspect.
Okay, so let's just from now on just like leave the days out of it, leave the school out of it. It's like,
Well,
Yeah.
no, I think she needs like you get it on Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday. There's no
okay,
school attached to it.
well, also if you tell her those days, be prepared for her to ask you when I'm gonna get it. And if you want to, I don't know, if you want to pick a time, because so you're saying when you give it to her in the morning, you don't hear about the phone for the rest of the day.
No,
You don't.
no,
Okay.
that's her time. She had it done. Or there'll be some days where she'll try because she thinks she's slick, and she'll do something like,
But also, why.
can I like in the bathroom coming here before we left her party, she was like, Mommy, can I have that? And I was like, absolutely not. And then she was like, oh. And then that was it. She stops because she knows that she can't come at me after that because I already gave you the fucking phone in the morning when I told you I would. Done deal. And then that's it.
All right. Well, let's just start there. How about that? Like, we'll start at like not in the morning. Like, you gotta like either come in, you can lay in bed with us, we can talk, we can hug, we can, talk about whatever happened. You can go play in your playroom or whatever. Let's get dressed and get to the breakfast table, and then whenever you want to set up times after that, I'm fine with. Okay. And then also don't mention school when you're talking about the phone.
I'm not going to mention school. She will though, because she knows that.
Well, now you've injected that in her brain, so we got to take time to remove that. Okay, cool. Do you feel good about this?
Yeah, I feel good about this. I'm fine with it.
Okay. Did I lay out a good? Hold on. So you asked me until when? Till I can get you some scientific information about something?
Well, because you're suggesting this as though this is something that you know to be better. And what I'm saying is, well, okay, show me factual information that says that, yeah, that's a great thing.
All right. I'll try and look up like some studies on like TV and stuff like that and how it affects kids.
No, that I know.
Oh.
The whole time, what you told me was that you didn't want it to be this structure thing. Just give it to her, whatever. And then we got into the conversation about structure. And I was like, well, I think structure is important for kids. They need it. And you were like, okay, well, I think that you need it more, blah, 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 blah. And then I said, I'll do what you want to do with this whole, you can have it whenever, when you can show me scientific information that shows that making things very just off the cusp with kids is a good thing, which I do think on some levels it is, right? Like, because I think that they need to know that because they need to be prepared that in life
things happen.
Things happen, not everything's so structured. So I get that. But
Right.
when we're talking about
There's
the
definitely
phone.
things, and I'm not. Yeah, it's like I, I just don't like. There's so many. Think about all the other things that we do with her that are not. There's not like, okay, we're gonna have like you don't even do lunch at the exact same
I
time
know
every
that,
day.
and
You
I
know?
think that there's a difference between, let's say, being like, "Oh, we were gonna go to this fair, and now we're gonna go to this farm instead," right? Like, I do this all the
Mhm.
time with her, and she's fine. She rolls with it, you know? Like, versus like, okay, the phone is something that I know that you like and that you enjoy. You get it 3 days a week, you know? And so with that being said, these are the times that you get it versus you'll get it
Well,
whenever I decide for you to get it.
hold on. Why does she like and enjoy it?
Why does anybody like and enjoy look why do you like to look at your phone and fucking be lost in a Instagram, TikTok
I don't
fucking
like it.
days? Dude, you get stuck on TikTok like
That
crazy.
doesn't mean I like it. This
Well,
is exactly why I don't watch TV because I will watch it all day long. I already know myself. I've
yeah,
already been down that road.
right, and you're on the phone a long time. Also,
Yeah.
it frustrates me when you say and you want Soul to do something, but then at dinner while we're eating, who's on their phone?
Okay. Listen, fine. I'm down for right now, right? Like saying it right now, like no phones at dinner, no phones when we're eating any food, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner. I'm cool with that if you want to agree to that.
I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. With not having my phone around. You're the one who has
Also,
it on you like a fucking
all right, so how about no phones at any of the food times, right? What even if we're out or whatever, we put it away, right? Um,
Oh,
well, that
wait.
might be difficult for you.
Wait,
That might be
wait,
difficult for you,
wait, at a restaurant, she needs the phone.
but she doesn't need it.
It's just gonna make our lives so much more annoying
You
and
just said you
difficult.
don't even like it because then you got to sit there
I
with
don't
it
like it
alone.
when I'm by myself, but when you're there and I wanna actually have a conversation with you and, like, shoot the shit with you for a little bit, yeah, it is annoying because then I can't speak to you. Anytime I go to say something, she's like, "But mom," and then I'm like, "Well, I guess I'm never gonna talk to my husband."
See, that's something also I think about too, right? Like we're setting the foundation for every time we go out to dinner as she gets older that she's going to be on the phone.
Yeah, I understand that. I just don't know if I'm ready to break that one.
The-
I'm being honest.
well, that's for you, but do you care? Like you just agreed like you don't want her to. So it's like
Yeah, I could agree to something and still say, I just don't think I'm ready yet.
so the longer you continuously do it, that's more embedding into the brain of this is what we do.
Again, I hear you. I'm not saying I don't. I just need to be really mentally prepared for that.
The good news is every time you've had to do something like this where you weren't mentally prepared, think back on these things, right? It is always happened way faster than you think. Once you like say, okay, I guess we'll do this thing that I don't want to do with Soul, right? Then it's literally like 2 3 days or 2 3 times of whatever it is, and then
Yeah.
that's it. It's always been like that,
Yeah. So
right?
let me just go through my process.
Okay. All right. So that's something you're gonna work on. That
Work on
going out
the.
to eat with Soul by yourself and not having
I
her
just
have
said
a
I'm
phone.
not ready for that yet.
Well, whenever you
Oh.
are is what I'm saying. Like, I mean, it's not. I don't.
I'll do it when I feel I'm ready.
All right. So
And
I mean,
I'm
that could be
always
5 years from now.
no, you know that that's not the case with me. You know that whenever we have these talks, I will always implement. It's just a matter I like doing things on my time. You know I have control stuff. I don't
Okay.
like doing things when someone tells me to do it.
I'm not telling you. We're having
I'm like a
an adult
fucking
conversation here where
adolescent when it comes to
we're
that.
agreeing to things.
Yeah, I'm agreeing, but I also want the say of like,
All right,
yes,
fine. There doesn't have
I
to.
will choose to do it when I'm gonna do it, and I will do it, just like I always do everything.
I know. It's like every time
You just don't like to wait
no, it's like when
around
we
to
leave an
like,
open-ended thing, then you just forget about it, and then we have the same conversation 6 months from now.
no, we're not gonna have the same conversation. Joe, I'm a different person now.
All right, then you should be able to at least commit to within the next 3 months. How about that?
Oh yeah, I could do that for sure.
All right, just don't wait till the third month, please.
No, I'm gonna slowly start to like, test the waters.
Okay, good. All right. So no phones at food time. You're working on the when you go out with her by yourself. I'm okay with it when it's all three of us. I'm really not, but
Let's take baby steps.
okay. So we'll work on that one too. Because it is nice to go out and her not to be complaining, but
I know.
but she's only complaining because if like imagine if she never got the phone when we went out to eat, she wouldn't be complaining.
Yeah,
Right.
but that's not the case, Joe.
I know. Thanks, Aaliyah.
I don't think that was just me, but
I've never given her the phone when I've gone out.
you know what?
Literally,
You use
never.
words like that's a strong word to use. That's a bold word to use.
I'm
Never.
I'm trying to think right now.
You can't go through
I think
the
I
past
have.
3 years and be very sure that you never gave her the phone.
When I
can't
went
even
out to
fucking
dinner,
remember.
when I went out to
You
eat with her,
can't even remember the same days every Thursday or every this that our dog goes to school or that Soul goes to gym. Like you can't even remember shit like that, let alone 3 years ago. For the past 3 years.
well, but I know what I do, so I know. Like it
Yeah,
would
I
be
know what you do too, but I
all right.
also
I'll give
know
you.
that you've
All right,
contradicted yourself.
there's a possibility of maybe 1 or 2 times possible
So
in the
that's not
past
never.
5 years.
That's not never.
Okay, possibly, but
That's
possibly not.
that's not never.
All right. Well, pretty
That's
close. It's
not
like
what
it's like
that's not
kind of
what
like a
never
UFC
means.
fighter that's like the champion, but he's got like 2 losses.
He fucking has 2 losses.
Yeah, but
He's not undefeated with 2 losses. I can't call him undefeated. He has 2 losses.
John Jones has 1 defeat, but nobody considers it a defeat because it happened so long ago.
People do because it is like it pops up on his stats when you look at him. It says 1 defeat.
All right, my stat will say these are like no contests basically because like I'm not sure and nobody was there to confirm it, but it's possible. I'm leaving a door open that I may have given her the phone while I went out to eat with her by myself 1 or 2 times, possibly.
What's crazy to me is that, especially when you were like deep in the thick of your work, like you are always stressed out, always trying to fucking hustle, always trying to do something. I find it very hard to believe that in 5 years, okay, 4 years, you've only given her the phone twice at mealtime.
At a mealtime.
When I'm pretty sure someone has texted you, some important someone who you're trying to do business with has hit you up at dinner, okay? And you've been like, oh, shit, all right, I gotta handle this. Because I see you do it here at the house because it's so important to you. And God forbid you actually push that aside for a minute and you didn't give her the phone just to chill her out for a little bit to distract her.
Nope, it's impossible because
I
I would
that's
be
bullshit.
on the phone myself, texting or on it. So how could I give it to her?
Touche.
Oh man.
That's right.
Hold on, I did write something else down. Like it was on the kids topic, but it was
Kids topic.
well, I mean about kids. Oh, I don't know why I even thought about this either too, but I was just thinking I think I was listening. I'm reading this book.
What book are you reading?
I always forget the name of it for some reason. Hold on, I will tell you.
It's some like motivational.
No, yeah, it's Abundant Ever After by Kathy Heller, and this is kind of irrelevant from what I wanted to talk about, but
you don't have to go into like the whole thing.
Yeah, the book is about basically just acknowledging that everybody has
abundance,
in unlimited abundance if they just change their perspective on everything. But anyway, she was telling some story or something and talking about like careers and having kids and she was telling some story about one of her friends or something, and it just got me to think about like there's parents out there that some parents decide to be stay-at-home moms or stay-at-home dads or whatever it is,
hardest job ever,
100%. But in doing that, sometimes it's not talked about within like the couple before that happens. It just kind of ends up that happens, maybe
Happening.
because like the husband, makes more money or something, and then I mean, we have some friends like that too, right? But the sacrifice that mostly usually a woman, right, would make, meaning the sacrifice of like stepping away or losing focus on their career path because they feel it's necessary to sacrifice that to raise kids. So that mentality compared to obviously our mentality is like, no, you don't have to sacrifice that,
Well,
right?
do they think that it's necessary,
I
or
think
do
there
they
are some
just
parents that
do
think,
they just think that, again, because of society, right, pushing this into our minds for so long,
mm,
that traditionally, stereotypically, women stay home, take care of the kids, men go out and work.
mhm.
It's not maybe this thing that they think is necessary, but this thing that they maybe kind of feel is more of like, they're like, it's like my duty, I guess. Even
Mm,
if I don't want it to be, I'm obligated to do this. Like, I have to. This is how
yeah,
it has to be.
yeah. And there's like in their minds that they feel as though it's either this way or that way. They can't have both. But that's where this book comes into play. It's like you can have everything. You just have to change your perspective and maybe release some ways of thinking and ways of doing things and make it congeal so that you can get everything you want.
I mean, when it comes to work, though, I wonder, though, right? Because we all know that it's a thing out there in the world. I mean, it's starting to change, I guess, a little bit, but we all know it's a thing that, let's say, males, right? Men compared to women are going to get paid probably more than a female. It's
You
a
know,
thing.
you know,
It
I don't,
happens.
I actually think that they did a study recently, and that's actually not true now. Things have changed.
That women get paid more.
I believe so. I
That
I
just
literally
happened
just
because,
heard
like,
that just recently on some random podcast, I think. I'd have to look it up.
interesting.
Don't call me, fact checkers. Go ahead and do your work.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking, based on like just society and how it is, that men probably get paid more versus women, just based on history and stuff like that, right? Specifically white men, you know. And so we also know that there's gender bias out there in terms of just like women in the workplace, right? And stuff like that. And blah, blah, blah. That's a thing. So I think it's also embedded in people's minds that for women, we may get paid less unless we're a boss bitch. Unless you're a female that is a boss bitch. Like, you are, like, you either own your shit or you are the CEO of some fucking company.
Yeah. I mean, there's also other ways. This is other things that this book talks about is that, um, we only think about one or a couple different ways of like making money. It's like getting a job, right? Or creating your own business when that's not necessarily true. You could win the lottery, right? There's one other way. I'm just throwing things out there, but
You know,
like there's also,
someone in California fucking won like $1.9 billion or some
yeah.
shit.
And then they only took home like 600 million because the government took 50% of it. I mean, it's still great,
It's still
but
amazing.
still,
Really.
but what I'm saying is that there's other things like where, like, for instance, say like this podcast, right? Say we get up to like 200 and say all your dreams
Dreams
come
come
true
true
and
and
like
Joe Rogan
we get picked up by
contacts us.
somebody, right? And then we start putting ads in our videos and stuff like that. We will be doing exactly what we're doing right now, but we'll be getting paid a bunch of money, right?
Mhm.
So like that's something that would never cross your mind when you're in that position and thinking like, oh, I have to get a job and I can only make so much money and I only have so much time in my day and I have these kids to take care of and all this other stuff, right? But that's not true. You just have to actually, there's the world is so abundant and there's so many avenues to figure out ways to make money and whatever, and it can happen really fast too. And I think, we just do, as a culture, we've gotten stuck in this way of just thinking of like time, and there's 8 hours in a day to work, and what if I made $200 an hour and for 8 hours? But that would probably be my max. No, that's bullshit. It's not. It's really not. 300, 500, $10,000 an hour for 8 hours. Some people, there's no, think about it.
No, I know.
Anybody
I
who
know, I'm not
makes
laughing. It's not.
like $20 million a year, or even like $1 million a year,
Yeah.
they're making like fucking $500 an hour,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
And $1 million a year now in 2020, going into 2025, is not even a lot.
Who's the wealthiest woman in the world?
Probably somebody you've never heard of.
Who is
This girl, she's still using fucking Google.
the wealthiest woman in the world? Wealthiest woman in the world is Alice Walton, is the world's wealthiest woman with an estimated net worth of 89.1 billion. Here we go. She is the only daughter of Walmart founder Sam Walton.
Mm.
Walton's wealth increased due to a 34% rise in Walmart's share price. Okay, so basically she's the wealthiest woman in the world because of her father.
But we don't know what she does. I mean, she could have grown up in Walmart like as a little kid, learning all the ins and outs and working it, and then maybe as she got older,
What I'm
she
trying
built
to
out.
see is who are the wealthiest women in the world who are actually self-made. The
So why don't you just say
Francois
that then?
Bettencourt Myers, the granddaughter of L'Oreal founder, bam. Julia Koch, the widow of David Koch. Okay. Jacqueline Mars, the owner of around 30% of Mars Incorporated. Mars has an estimated net worth of 38.5 billion. All right, well, she's the owner. I don't know if that was passed down to her. Mackenzie Scott, that was passed to her, right? Because she was married to who was she married to?
I don't even know who that is.
Mackenzie Scott. Oh no. Am I confusing her with Jeff Bezos' ex? Yeah. Okay.
Well, ChatGPT will give me the answer really quick. So I said, who's the wealthiest self-made woman on the globe? Is Rafaela Aponte Diamante. Net worth
What does she do?
33 billion. Co-founder of Mediterranean Shipping Company.
That's a boss bitch right there. She was like, "Fuck y'all, motherfuckers! I'm going to make this happen." Yeah. Oh, I love her. Send me her information. Send me the link on her.
The richest woman in the United States has 20 billion, and her name is Diane Hendricks.
I've heard of that name.
She is the chairwoman of ABC.
Right.
ABC Supply. Hold
ABC
on.
Supply.
One of the largest distribution of roofing and windows in the United States, a company she co-founded in 1970.
Interesting. So basically, if we
those
did
are boss
that,
bitches, yeah.
right? But if we just look that up for like who are the wealthiest self-made men in this world, it would be like.
But also think about this, right? So both of those women started those companies in the 1970s. Mm-hmm. So that's fucking 50 years ago.
Damn.
So it took them 50 years of consistency to build up to have.
And 50 years of bullshit too, because I'm pretty sure they have to go through a lot of shit just being females in,
Right. But my whole point is I'm trying to say is there are other ways. You just there are sacrifices that people have to do. And the sacrifice shouldn't be what your dreams and aspirations are. Because hold on, here's another aspect of this too, right? You don't want your kids, you want to be an inspiration for your kids. So don't let your dreams die because you feel that you need to only sacrifice your whole life for your kids. I mean, I guess if you really want to, and that's what you enjoy doing, and you're okay. And at the end of the day, when you're 80 years old, you're like, I lived a great life and I didn't sacrifice anything because I raised amazing kids and that's what I want to do. Fuck yeah, that's great. But if you're 80 and you're going to think, man, if I just stuck with that thing, and I know it was hard with the kids and all this other stuff, but if I just stuck with it, who knows where I'd be right now? And you have all this like guilt and wish you coulda, woulda, shoulda. Like, don't let yourself get to that point.
Do you know who I believe some of the most creative populations of people are? Creative enough to actually think of ideas and like really like out of the box amazing ways to make money and would crush it. Two populations of people I could think of off the top of my head.
Mhm.
One, addicts and alcoholics.
Yeah. Why?
Fuck yeah. I have having specialized in that field, having many patients who are addicts and alcoholics who I highly adore. If I was, and I've said this before, if I was stranded on an island and a genie came to me and said, all right, in order to get off this island, you can either have your family come or a bunch of addicts and alcoholics. I am choosing addicts and
Are you
alcoholics.
serious?
They are some of the most creative, artistic, fucking clever. Are you kidding me? They will make something fucking happen. Okay. The motivate. See, they
If
may
you
not
say,
have.
if we get off this island, you're
They
gonna get
may
all the
not-
crack you can
They
get.
may not have motivation for certain things, especially when they're in it, right? But they do have a brain that's geared with motivation. They do. It's just a matter of how you steer that, and how you restructure that, right? They are highly motivated individuals, especially when their brains are really like craving something, right? I mean, I've had patients literally climb a fucking like the craziest, this is a true story, but the craziest hill in a blizzard, fucking being flown back with like a tiny little jacket on, nothing fucking to keep him warm, just to go get some fucking heroin. You know what I'm saying? Like, they are no fucking joke. So yes. And I think they're very again, I think their artistic ability, I think a lot of them function from the more creative part of the brain. So their ability to actually really get creative and think of things that are outside of the box, I think is like a lot more likely than some other individuals. So I'm all about it. The other population of people who I think are very creative and who would think of something out of the box and make some fucking money, people in prison.
Prison people would be able to.
People incarcerated. Absolutely. Do you think about, and I'm not joking when I say these things. So I worked at a prison. One of the I'm so glad I had that experience, and I did, and I had to run a group actually with it was a boot camp style prison for actually a lot of them were also addicts, alcoholics, but many of them basically were, you know, charged with some drug or whatever charge, and rather than go to treatment or whatever, they sent them to this boot camp style jail, right? Many of them were not in there for using drugs, some of them were in there for selling drugs, okay? The brains of these men in this group, they taught me so much. They really did. Like, in terms of how they thought, their business savviness was like out of control. Like, they could literally they could create a business, run that shit, and fucking make it the most successful thing. But again, they have to take that and put it towards something else. When you're incarcerated and you're in prison, think about all the things that you have to actually like that you want that you can't have, but you'll make that shit. I mean, they make makeup in there, they make this, they make that, like they make a bunch of shit. They make anything.
Shanks out of toothbrushes.
Right? Like, they're doing shit. Why? Because they have to.
Yeah.
Because they want it. They have no other option. Right? Funny. This is actually a funny thing, but I'm pretty sure it happens. So there's a show called Orange is the New Black. It's not on anymore. But anyway, there was this one episode, and again, they're in prison, but there was this one episode, right? But I wouldn't doubt that this does not happen. And maybe not to this specific detail, but I wouldn't doubt it. So they want to make some money, right? Because the more money you have, you can buy things at the whatever it is, right? And so this one girl decides to fucking sell her dirty panties, and people were actually wanting, there are men out there and people out there who actually have fetishes of dirty panties, which again, it may have been on the TV, but I'm telling you right now, because I'm a clinician and I know that there's fetishes out there, wouldn't be fucking surprised if that actually existed. Okay. So now they're just fucking mailing their dirty panties, then they're sending the money back, they're getting paid.
The hard part would
Hustle.
be finding those people.
Hustle.
There
Hustle.
are outlets to find those people through like OnlyFans and like freaking porn sites, or I guess, or
The
whatever.
point I'm making is that these populations of individuals, I think, have that that ability to actually really like make shit happen, to think outside the box.
Mm.
It's just how they utilize it.
I have no idea how we got on that.
Me
but
neither.
That's
And
fine.
I wish they all knew that, to be honest. And if you don't know that, if you're a recovering addict, alcoholic, or anything like that, please understand that your brain and the way that your brain works is fucking amazing. You can do whatever you put your mind to do.
Mm.
You are absolutely intelligent, absolutely smart. This brings tears to my eyes because I know so many of you have like such low self-esteem, but please know that you are brilliant. Okay. I've seen it in every single one of you. Please. And anyone who's incarcerated or who wasn't, same shit, man. You guys have amazing abilities that people don't even think about, or people would think to be something really negative. I don't see a lot of those abilities as negative. I see them as things that you could actually use for positive. So go out and do it, you know?
Yeah, it's a shame that like we don't have like a real legit like rehabilitation program that does help those people restructure their brains. Like people who are like nonviolent crimes and stuff that are, addictions and stuff like that. Well, I guess you don't go to jail for addiction, but you do other crimes because of the addiction. So
you go to jail for fucking using and fucking getting into a car
right,
accident or this or that, or being having drugs on you.
But if they really did have a real program to restructure the brains of those people, that would be like the number one like place you would go to hire people. Like as soon as you get out of jail, you get your brain restructured. Like,
are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh my God, man. But again, the system does not work that way because they, for some reason, want to just keep these individuals.
Well, it's money because it's privatized, and that's a whole other podcast. But
prison?
Yeah. Prisons are not run by the federal government or any government, or at least most of them are not.
Wait, hold on. So how are they making money?
Well, they get a bunch of money from investors, right? And they build a facility, and then they get contracts from the states or the federal government, and they have a quota of how many people they have to keep in there every month. And they have to keep that quota, which is the reason why the system keeps going. And
wait, did everybody know this? Is this true?
Yes, this is true. Look it up.
That is even more fucked up.
I mean, this could be a whole other podcast. Like this, that goes down this rabbit hole. That's crazy. Yeah.
I'm not a fan of prison.
No.
And not that I'm not, like, when I say that, I really mean like I'm not a fan of prison. I'm not a fan of the system. I'm not a fan of how they do it. I'm not a fan of anything.
Well, it's basically they utilize, we as a culture, we utilize jail as a place to throw people that are not abiding by our agreed upon laws, first off, right? And then it's also people that are kind of like, have some sort of mental issues that do certain things that break laws and whatever, but it's usually because of the mental issues, like all these like homeless people and stuff like that, right?
Again, they were not born that way.
Right. So like it would be amazing if we actually did have a real rehabilitation program, and the jails were not meant to be a place where you just throw the person away and get them out of society so we don't have to think about them anymore. It should be a place where like we're compassionate about these people that have made bad or different choices in their lives that brought them in the wrong direction, and we should be wanting to help them get on a better track. But
I agree with that tremendously. I think the one, and I'll be honest about this and really transparent, the one population of individuals, let's say, who are in prison, that I want to have a tremendous amount of empathy for, and I'm getting there slowly because I've been working on it just myself. But it's still a difficult population for me to work with on a clinical level. Is the pedophiles.
That's
It's the and I hate saying that out loud, I really do, because I know that they were not born that way, like, I understand that clinically, um, and I want them all to be able to get help and, like, actual help, but I think now that I have a kid, there's, like, an emotional thing tied to it as well, so it's hard for me to kinda maneuver that. Like, I would want them to get help and not be just thrown away in jail to rot, but I don't think I can be the clinician yet to help them.
Mm.
I would like to be one day, um, and I think it would be an amazing experience for me clinically, like, mind-blowing amazing experience for me clinically. I work with this one guy who actually works in that population. Wow, man. Woo! And he actually played a recording for me because, it was like an experimental thing or whatever, but, played a recording for me of the therapy he was doing on this guy who had, again, signed off and said it was okay because it was used for training purposes. But oh my god, it was amazing what I was hearing. I was like, "Wow." And again, when I say amazing, like, I don't mean like amazing, like, "Oh my god, this is good," right? Like, I mean just like on a clinical level for someone
Interesting.
who's in this field, like, it's extremely fascinating and interesting.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I
Well, we went through that whole like R. Kelly. We had that R. Kelly episode, which we kind
yeah,
of talked about this stuff where
yep,
it's like it's a lot of most of it is like childhood trauma. It's
yeah,
where to a point where you know obviously they've done some things like if you take R. Kelly, right, that are kind of you can't really like it's not good, right? but
well,
if
none of
you
it's good,
right, but
right?
if
So
you
that's
can
not what we're disputing.
right, but if you can see their history and how they're raised and the reasons why these things and connect the dots of like how they became, you kind of have it's like it's a very catch-22 situation. You want to
It's
have
tough.
compassion for them because they were just little kids when these things happened to them,
Yeah.
and then they never got those things resolved and then carried on the
And
cycle.
so right, and so that brings the empathy for me because that makes me feel really sad,
Like they really don't even know
they have
what
no
they're
idea.
doing. Um, so
Well,
yeah,
they know that what they're doing obviously is not right
right.
because if they didn't know that, then they would just be out in the open publicly like, "Fuck this shit," right? So they know because they're hiding, right?
Well, R. Kelly used to make songs about it. I mean,
But yeah,
anyways,
I mean, they
yeah.
know because they're hiding, right? Like a
Yeah,
pedophile is lurking at the playground secretively, right? Like they're not just
yeah.
going,
It's like,
so they know that what they're doing is wrong.
uh,
But there's a compulsion. There's something, right? Like in their brain, a belief system, compulsion, whatever it is that's in there that's telling them that this is what.
yo, you see these new people that so there's this group of guys who are. It's not like remember that guy that had that show To Catch a Predator.
Yeah.
Remember that? So now there's like
You've
private
shown me this.
citizens
You've
now.
you've shown me this, and it's actually really uncomfortable to
Yeah.
watch. It's really uncomfortable.
And they've been
I've seen
catching
it.
people like not celebrities, but like like state congressmen, shit like that.
Even people who were actually released from fucking prison for the same charge
Yeah,
and then back at it again and then got caught again. It's the most uncomfortable thing to watch.
I know.
It really kind of gives me the heaves.
But I mean, that's probably the best scenario for those guys, really, right? Is getting caught in one of those situations because otherwise, if it's like the father or the mother or the parent or somebody that's related to that person that they're fucking with, that kid,
Several people are going to
those
prison.
people could die.
Several people are going to prison then. And that's unfortunate.
Everybody's going to jail that day,
And that's such an unfortunate situation. I mean, just like who's that UFC the old UFC
Strickland?
guy? No. The fighter
Cain
Cain, he
Velasquez.
murdered his his nieces or right, allegedly. Allegedly, right, but he's going to be on trial for the murder of the abuser who abused whether it was his niece or his daughter.
Something like that.
and he murdered him, you know. And that's one of those stories too where it's like
Mm.
tragic on all accounts. You know, like it's just horrific. I don't know how we got into this conversation,
I don't
but
know, but we got to get going
yeah.
though. We're trying to keep on track with the schedule
Yeah.
after the holidays here.
All right, everyone, have an amazing New Year's.
Yes.
Have an amazing
Happy
New
New
Year's
Year.
going into 2025. I'm excited for changes, make shit happen. And I wish you all the best out there in your land.
Yep. We'll see you next year.
See you next year.
Love you guys.
Bye.